I recently received an email from one of my viewers in which he explained that he had some major issues with a plugin that I've reviewed. So I asked him to hop on a video call, and this is what we've discussed. Let's get started. All right, so maybe we should start with just a little bit of an introduction, because who are you? What are you doing for a living? And maybe also talk a little bit about why we are having this call.
My name is David Fincke, but I'm widely known as Tommy Fincke, which is my stage name when I'm doing singer-songwriter stuff. And I'm mainly living off making compositions for theater nowadays, where I'm called TD Fink von Finkenstein. So I have many different names for many different situations. And I'm actually living from making music. And that's quite a good thing, I guess, nowadays. I have come across one of your videos in the past, which was one of your very infamous snake oil videos. I know some people like them, some people hate them. I do like them because they are very entertaining and you can make your own decision afterwards. So I came across one of those and I decided I needed the plugin in there because it did connect some things I would have to set up not so easily in a DHW. And you could, for instance, make the volume go quieter. And while doing that, a reverb would cover your voice or whatever. So you would go down into reverb, which you can automate. But it's nice to have one thing to automate and not like 2 steps or 3 steps. So it's all about saving time. I love time-saving plugins. So I came across that video. Should I say the name of the plugin already?
Yeah, you can. We can say the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I came across this video about 2BTruman's Cyberfader, which was, I think the name is rubbish, but the plugin itself seemed intriguing. So I saw your test and I decided this was cool. And I don't really remember if there was a trial version. I think there wasn't, and so I bought it. And this was during the COVID pandemic. So I had a lot of things to do, like taking care of my child and trying to find work to do, because not everything with the live music went very well at the time. So I put the plugin away for a time. And just recently, like 1 month ago or anything like that, I just reopened a song I worked on, and I reopened the plugin and it said error written all over the plugin with a little wheel spinning. And I said to myself, okay, I made an update to my DAW. So maybe this is just, the wrong version for my DAW.
Yeah, compatibility error.
A compatibility issue like this can happen with all your VSTs and with your audio units as well. So I just started an older version of the DAW. I'm a DAW collector, so I have
that's cool.
Well,
that's cool.
Just so I can work. But it also said error. I was using Studio One at that time. I still do because it's my personal favorite DAW. But I also use Ableton, and I have been using Cubase. Now I'm using Nuendo for other stuff. So I opened my other DAWs and tried to load Cyberfader, even older versions. And it said error all the time. And I was like, this is interesting. Maybe somehow the plugin is broken in my directories. So I tried to copy my backup files back into the directories, but that didn't work also. So I decided I would reinstall the plugin. And that's where it got interesting. And I thought of maybe I should call you again, because when I tried to reinstall the plugin, I got into my email program and looked for the email from the shop where I bought it. And I clicked the download link, but there was nothing to download. So I clicked on the plugin's error sign, which was a link. And it tried to open the page of Dystopia plugins. Dystopia with an I, not a Y. So I clicked that, it tried to open the page and then forwarded to the page of 2BTruman. I said to myself, okay, let's find out what Dystopia plugins is. So I entered www.dystopiaplugins.com, which you could see for a second on the screen. And it's a page where you can get absolutely no information anymore. There's still a menu where you can click on About, on plugins, but there's nothing in there. And it just said made with WordPress. I was like, okay. Then I got back to the 2BTruman page where there was no mention of the Cyberfader plugin anymore, and nothing about any plugins, just about a synthesizer which the guy built 5 years ago and which was used in a Dua Lipa video. And so I went to Google and tried to find anything about the Cyberfader plugin. And all you can find is information about the release in music magazines, like, and like reviews on Gearspace, all the places you might know from the internet where to get infos about a plugin. But you could click on shopping on Google, nothing anymore. The plugin is completely gone from the world. It doesn't exist anymore, so to speak.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I thought, well, Wietse is always talking about, is it snake oil? And this was so snake oilish. I just had to get in touch with you and say, well, this is snake oil. Yeah. I mean, you're promising something, you are selling this piece of garbage, which it wasn't. When I used it, it was cool. I used it, I tried it out, it worked. I have to say it worked. But then after a while, it stopped working. And I have another thing I want to say. I think the plugin called home to the server. I can't really track it right now because it's not working anymore. But my suspicion is that it needed the connection to the working server to work. And now that the server has deleted all the information about the plugin and isn't working anymore, it just says error.
So it can't get the validation done, basically.
Yes, but this is a bit suspicious because why does the plugin need to phone home if you already bought it? I'm not sure if maybe it was already. Maybe it was collecting some data. I don't know. It's just really suspicious when your plugin stops working when the server doesn't work.
But it sounds really interesting that, I mean, if there is a licensing issue with your plugin, the first thing it should be doing and always should keep doing is functioning. Maybe it could lock you out of the UI so that you cannot change settings anymore. But if you're running a session and there is a licensing issue, it should continue working, first of all, for your workflow. And I think second of all, imagine what would happen if you would be using this on stage in front of a crowd.
Yeah. And this plugin was definitely made for stage.
Yeah,
it was made for Ableton live mixing and stuff like that. You could see it in the GUI and how it was made. It was perfectly made for live situations. So this is a bummer, really.
How do you feel now? Do you feel betrayed? Are you confused? Are you?
Well, the first few minutes I was crying in German, like Wietse, I trusted you, you know. I trusted your opinion.
Yeah, but, it's unfortunately I cannot look into the future. If I would have known this before, it would like get a complete burn from me, because these practices are, I mean, I don't have words for it yet. I have to think about the correct words to say for this, because it's just such an incredible amount of bullshit that they are treating their customers, their paying customers, like this. Like, at least, like you can say like, okay, I don't want to be in the plugin industry anymore. That's something that I can imagine. That as a company that you're saying like, okay, let's quit plugins. You are responsible for part of the support still, and that doesn't necessarily mean updating the plugin, because that's of course like going to take some work, and it's kind of fair as well that if a plugin needs an update that you need to pay for it. It's kind of fair because works need to be put into there. But when it comes to licensing, you have to keep supporting the licensing. This story actually is very interesting because it reminds me of a story that I had. I think I talked about this on the YouTube channel, but it has to be 2018 or something, or like really in the early days of my YouTube channel. Because what happened is that I was running a Pro Tools 9 setup, and my iLok stopped working from one day to another. And I didn't,
fuck.
yeah, exactly that. And I didn't have zero downtime or something.
Double fuck.
So, it was a triple fuck then, because I had to send the iLok to iLok in America, which from the Netherlands, it's a long way to swim. Like it doesn't, there's no 24-hour turnaround or something. Like it has to be brought to iLok. They have to check that thing. I don't know, get the licenses off there, then get a new iLok and load the licenses onto that new iLok. That was basically the procedure. That took a week. And here comes the triple fuck part. The interfaces connected to AVID Pro Tools were from AVID, which are not supported with Core Audio. So I couldn't also run Logic or Reaper or a different DAW. So I was like, I couldn't do anything for a week. That was basically the story. How I fixed it was actually a friend of mine had a few Motus laying around, also with sub-D connectors, because my system was on sub-D connectors. So we could basically just use those converters, plug those in, and then over AVB and making some kind of a setup to run Logic, and so that could still work and still keep my clients happy. But this whole story, it is a little bit of the same as this Cyberfader story, because I am paying AVID for my licenses, for my hardware, whatever, so that I can work. I want to trust them, and they've damaged my trust. They have actually damaged my trust so badly that I'm really staying away from AVID, because I've experienced this. I know how bad it can be. And I'm now like, okay, I want to have open systems. I want to have, like I'm running RME right now, which is a Core Audio device, which can also runs over open protocols, MADI and AVB and AES and all open protocols. So whenever something happens somewhere or RME stops, the company stops, whatever, I can still work or replace one part with something else. And I'm not in the proprietary business anymore. And with Cyberfader, even though it's a small thing, if it's in an important place in your signal chain and you have a live gig or you have a production to finish and something like this happens, you're fucked.
I hate stuff like that. It's like, when you buy a printer with a scanner on it, and then one of them goes boom. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you keeping the printer? Yes, you are going to keep the printer, but you're buying a scanner now. Now you have a working scanner, another scanner, and stuff like that. When it comes to something like Cyberfader, you have that fuss that is made about the plugin. They have a media campaign. They are sending away trials to all the important persons of the magazines, to people like you, and you are testing it. You find it has a value, and you are telling people there is a value, and look at this. I think it's useful. And we, the people, this is the beginning of some of the Declaration of Independence or anything. We, the people. But we, the people, trust in that these results of the tests from professionals.
Yeah.
We buy a thing like that, and then it's taken away from you because some person has something going on in their lives and you don't know what. I couldn't even Google the people who made the Cyberfader. I mean, I could Google the guy, but there's no news on him. Yeah. There's nothing to find out. I contacted him on his Instagram account. He didn't write back. Yeah. I tried to reach his Facebook page, but if you click on the Facebook page on the 2BTruman site, it said this content isn't available anymore by Facebook.
Yeah, correct. So yeah.
Maybe someone decided to leave the music industry for the better, and that's okay. People can do other things. But if you have contributed something to the world, may it be a plugin, you could give it into the hands of other people.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting how this works for my side of being a YouTuber or influencer. I hate that word. I really hate the word influencer. But for me, I'm in between. I'm in between my audience, which you are as well, and all the users, that use plugins, that use audio, make music, are enthusiastic about their passion. And on the other side, I do have the companies, of course. And we need the companies to make the products that, I need the company to make products that I can talk about. Although there's more to talk about than just products. But still, I'm in between those two. And I'm constantly being pulled in two ways. And here's something, and I've been saying this before on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to say it again. Whenever I need to choose between the company or my audience, like the real people that are going to use and going to work with the products, I will always choose for my audience.
Yeah.
And this is a difficult spot to be in as a YouTuber, because it basically means sometimes I need to turn my back to a company. And that means that I'm risking not having access to their resources anymore. And the resources I'm talking about are things like getting press releases, getting early press releases so that I can time my uploads, getting some technical help with understanding something better so that I can make a better story, those type of things. Whenever I make such a choice, I'm risking that. But I'm risking that for the community and for the audio engineers, because my own basis, and still the thing that I'm doing the most of the time, because people think I'm making YouTube videos every day, but I'm only making YouTube videos for 2 days a week, and the rest of the time I'm an audio engineer. Yeah. I'm one of you all. So I want to show this also with like having this conversation with you, that fuck the companies. Really. I don't care about you all. If you are misbehaving, I'll let the world know. I don't have the biggest reach. I mean, there are YouTube channels that have way bigger reaches. I just hate it when audio engineers are being mistreated. I even hate it if this, like I'm talking about this as if this is the professional industry where we need products to rely on because we need to do our job with it. The same goes with like a building company is not going to buy a low quality crane. That's why there aren't a lot of low quality cranes out there. Or low quality tools. Tools are high quality because professionals want to use high quality because they don't want to have the headache. So in the professional scene, it's like not done. But even in consumer scene, like doing these type of behavior, these type of things as a company is just completely not done. The only thing that 2BTruman had to do was take out the licensing. If he's going away, who cares if he's not making money off the plugin anymore? Because he's not selling it anymore. So who cares if everybody now can get the plugin for free? Whatever.
Exactly.
The ethics of this is choosing to do the right thing. And in my opinion, 2BTruman didn't do the right thing.
You know, we are in a world where we are using $50,000 equipment to record stuff. We are using $10,000 of plugins to finish the song, and then it's a stream somewhere, and somewhere in between these steps there is love put into the thing, you know, and we deserve love by the companies and by the makers of the plugins to. You know, the Beatles had in one song they sung, "In the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make," and that is very true for every song and every mix you do. You can't finish a mix if you not at least love one aspect of the mix. You know, you don't have to love the genre, or you don't have to love the vocals or the lyrics, but there's something. Maybe it's just the kick drum or anything, but you can lose yourself passionately in creating something. And to do that, you need to have a worldly trust into the tools you are using.
Wow, I couldn't have said it any better. Is there anywhere where people could find more about you and your music? Where do people need to go? I will put the links in the description as well, but let me know where they need to go.
Actually, it's kind of hard because I have so many projects. But if you are interested in finding out about my singer-songwriter work, you could just Google Tommy Fincke. You can probably read it down there, how it's written. And if you're interested in my theater work, you can Google Fincke von Finkenstein. And if you want to work with me, or you can just send me an email. I'm mainly a composer, and I'm a guy to have a beer with. So
yeah, it really sounds like a cool guy to have a beer with. Well, I want to thank you a lot for your time and your story. And,
well, I'm very happy that I could have a conversation with you, because I've seen maybe not all of your videos, but quite a lot. And I'm sometimes I have breakfast and watch your videos, and it's really entertaining. So it's nice to have that. So keep on doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Alright, that's it for this video. I would love to hear what you all think of this subject in the comments down below. I've published the full call as a members only video, and in that call we're discussing a few more things. So it might be interesting to check it out, and if you become a member you are supporting the channel as well. So make sure to check it out. You can do it on Patreon. I'm going to try to link that over here. Going to try to link the full video over here, and I'm going to link a playlist over here. You can become a member on Patreon or on YouTube. Content should be the same on both. Now I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and stuff. Keep pushing. And bye bye.